Hello, everybody. Henry's Coffee Shop Talk is going to be about leadership, mentorship. I'm going to mentor you as a leader. And here's my advice. Find somebody that does well or does great and learn from them. Watch how other people run things and how efficient they are and learn from them. Don't be stuck at your desk. Get off from your desk and go look at the work site. You need to go look at your work and understand the scope so you can assign a proper tasking to the people. You just can't send them out there and say, go do this. You have to know the scope of the work, where you're at already, and how much manpower do you need, and what is required of them to do the task for you. You just can't send them out there. You got to know yourself. Don't rely on somebody else's eyes to tell you what your job needs. You should know that before somebody else tells you. Stay a step ahead of your people. If you got somebody in your shop that is always a step ahead of you, then that means you need to look in the mirror and fix yourself. You should never allow your employees to be one step ahead of you. You should be ahead of them. You should know the process and understand it better than they do. You should understand what they're tasked to do better than they do. You're supposed to be, when you become a supervisor level, the SME. You're supposed to know that already. If you applied for a supervisor and got it and you weren't ready for it, shame on you. But at the same token, you may not know everything, so you should be inquisitive enough to learn, ask questions, and then make yourself better and understand your weaknesses so you can become better. Don't just march on smartly like it doesn't matter, because eventually it'll come back around and it'll bite you. So if you're in that position and you don't know everything, then you need to go figure it out so you can fill in those weak spots so you can be a better leader. It's not all about you getting awards. It's about them. If they get awards and you take care of them, then they naturally take care of you. You then naturally float to the top, and then you'll look good as a good leader because your team's operating good. Don't wait for failure and critiques to make change in your leadership style. It's too late. If you hear whispers that people don't like you, or you're inefficient, or you don't work well, you need to take that on board and look in the mirror, and you need to go figure out what your shortcomings are. Some of it's very obvious. You got to be willing to look in the mirror and understand them, not just keep coming a day every day and work at the leadership level you're at, where your workforce is not happy with you. Are you going to please everybody? Well, they say no, but I beg the difference. I had a strong 18-man division. At everybody's work level, they were happy. What they did and how they advanced, they were happy. Now, were they happy with the way the command did business and doing this and doing that? Surely not. But as a leader, I tried to shield them of that. I gave them correct direction. I trained them. I spent time educating them. I took interest in them and their personal life so that I could understand them better. And then I also knew their weaknesses and their strengths and put them on the right job so they can shine. Put them in the right vision of somebody so they shine. Put that in front of the right people to see the right things. You know, if somebody can't do something particular, you don't put them on it knowing that they're going to fail. That's not good leadership. But that's part of your leadership, is to understand their strengths and their weaknesses and make their weaknesses better and fill in the gaps. That's your job. Too many times do I listen and I hear people say how they hate this guy or that guy and he's a piece of shit. Well, I also found out in life a lot of people weren't pieces of shit. It was actually the people they were working for was the pieces of shit, and then they gave an impression that the worker was a piece of shit. In reality, it wasn't the worker, it was the actual supervisor. You got to self-identify that. You got to come to grips with yourself, and you got to know that. Unfortunately, I can preach and talk, and everybody will say, I don't know what I'm talking about, but yet I was successful, and I didn't have to step on people to get where I'm at. And all the people that were ever around me always became better, where I tried to make them better than me. Actually, there was one phrase that stuck with me a long, long time. A mark of a leader are the leaders you produce. And I always stood by that. And I produced a lot of leaders. And I took time in doing that. I have much more pride in myself knowing I have shipmates and friends and coworkers that have exceeded Excel or even started their own businesses or run their own gig and do a really good job at it. In fact, I try to reach out with them, and I got them on my Facebook page, and I stay in contact with them. Occasionally, I'll send out happy Thanksgiving, happy birthday, how's life, how's it going? And I'll just check in on them as they check in on me too. Sometimes I'll post things on there and they'll respond and say, Henry, there was no better leader than you. Well, there always is. I'm sure someone's always better. There's always somebody that can box better than the next guy. There's always somebody that can run faster than the next guy. And there's always somebody that can lead better than yourself. Question in you is, did you help that person become a better leader than you? If you say yes, and you're a good leader yourself. You have to put that extra effort into your people. They need that. If you have a happy division, it's like the old saying, happy wife, happy life. Happy partner, happy life. Happy workforce. Happy workforce is a happy workday. You have to have that mindset. People that come to work are not happy or disgruntled, and you don't change to make it better, ask them why, or at least attempt to, then your production will go down, your error rate will go up, the amount of manpower turnover will go up, and your day will just be shit. Your year will turn out shitty. If you're all about production in what you're making and profit, your profit will suffer. Your workforce will suffer. You'll have stress that's crazy, anxiety crazy, and then you'll make yourself sick. I try so hard each day to try to lead above and beyond, have people follow me, work with them. I co-sponsor them. I'll help them out. I coach them. I give them positive feedback. I praise them, and some take it and some don't. There's just some that won't do it. And I'll talk about some evil people. No matter what you do for them, you'll never make their day better. They're disgruntled and they just hate life. It's a sad thing. It's a sad thing that some people are like that. But you as a leader, you can't be like that. Or you'll have a shortfall in your leadership. It'll just suffer every day and you'll be miserable. But I've put on here how to plan, how to execute, how to make yourself successful, and do it with less effort. You need to go find that coffee shop talk and you need to listen to it. I'm sure it can help you. I'm not no resident expert. I'm just an expert in my world and how it works for me. I know it worked for me, and I know I was damn good at it, and I'm damn proud of it. And I wouldn't change the way I did or ran or worked with my guys. I went above and beyond to get them awards. I went above and beyond to make their life better. I went above and beyond to help them with their liberty. Because in the Navy, there's some of the hours suck, 10, 12, 14, you just didn't get home. And so I took pride in fixing that. I took pride in shielding them from going to captain's mast and having problems and life. And I even helped coach them on finances so they could live better, and help their quality of life so they could focus at work. I did everything I could in my power as a leader to take care of my people, because at the same token, I know they would take care of me, and it did. So that's what I'm going to leave with you. That's my coffee shop talk for today. Look in the mirror hard at yourself, and are you making somebody else around you better? And do you really care? Are you at work, and do you care? That's the question you have to have for yourself. Or are you at work just collecting a check and just sitting in the chair, sad, miserable, and trying to find a way out? I know I can't live that way. That's not who I am. I have to stay busy. I like what I do, and I try to lead from the front. But I will let people take a chance of being a leader and fix it themselves. I give them that chance, and then when I get to the point where I know it's going to damage or hurt the mission, then I jump in and I'll fix it. I don't like doing that. I like somebody to stay proactive the whole way so that the mission is always successful and you have to bust your ass to get there. But one thing I won't do, as much in my power I can, is I won't let the mission suffer or people around me suffer because somebody else can't plan or execute or lead the way they should. That's just who I am. All right, that's my coffee shop talk for today. I've been asked several times to post some. I got a couple made up. And I just do it, try to keep it non-emotional, but it's tough because a lot of it really beats at my heartstring, because I do these talks and discussion to help people. And that they can sit back and say, this guy's got a good plan. Maybe I'll try it. Maybe you should. Right. Henry out. That was my coffee shop talk for today. And you guys have a good one. Henry out.